What if the choice you make now reaches backward to revise your past and forward to redirect your future? Let that sentence land, not as poetry, but as a verdict. Because there is a moment when a human being stops asking for permission from yesterday and starts speaking with authority to tomorrow. That moment is now. Not next month, now. Imperfect, loud, ordinary now. The world will try to sell you the myth that you are the sum of mistakes and missed chances. But you are not an invoice of errors. You are a decision in progress. And decisions, when made with clarity, have gravity. They pull the scattered pieces of your story into orbit. They tighten the signal. They make doors that once ignored you. Remember, they were meant to open. Listen. Every timeline has a turning line. A sentence you finally speak to yourself that ends an old chapter without apology. Not because you're running from your past, but because you're done letting it narrate your name. You are not here to perform smallness for those who prefer you predictable. You are not here to shrink so the room can breathe easier. You are here to stand, heart steady, voice clean, and say, "This is who I am becoming," and the evidence will catch up. Some will doubt you. Let them. Some will test you. Outlast them. Some will misunderstand you. Bless them. And keep walking. You don't need everyone to believe. Just you, anchored, consistent, unwavering. That is how storms lose interest. Understand this: strength is not noise. It is alignment. It is the quiet certainty that refuses the old script and chooses the true one, even when no audience is clapping yet. It is dignity under pressure, patience without passivity, fire without frenzy. You can respect your past without renewing its contract. You can honor where you've been and still refuse to be defined by it. So write it boldly across this moment, etched into your intention like steel. I am not negotiating my becoming. I am not delaying my rise. I am not waiting for permission slips that never arrive. I stand now, calm, clear, committed. And let the future recognize me, because when you choose at this level, your story listens, your path rearranges, and the horizon, once distant, takes a step toward you. There is a moment when the noise around you expects you to bend, and you don't. Not out of anger, not out of pride, but out of clarity. Clarity is not loud, it is precise. It takes the scattered letters of your life and spells one word: direction. When you choose direction, you stop auditioning for approval and start announcing a standard. You won't be reckless, but you will be resolute. You won't be perfect, but you will be progressing. And that, quiet, steady, undeniable, frightens every doubt that once lived rent. Free in your head, doubt survives on delays. Conviction survives on decisions. Today you draw a line, not to divide yourself from the world, but to unite yourself with who you were always meant to be. Understand, doors don't open for hesitation. They open for presence. Presence is that posture that says, I'm not here to impress the room, I'm here to impact it. Presence doesn't beg, it bears itself. It doesn't copy, and when you carry purpose, timing respects you. Opportunities you used to chase begin to look for you, because certainty has a gravity that marketing can't fake. Let them talk, let them guess. Let them wonder how you kept moving without spectacle. Your answer is simple. You chose a straight path over a loud one. You chose discipline over drama. You chose to be the kind of person your future can trust. Hear this, and let it settle. Your past is a teacher, not a warden. Your name is not an apology, it is an assignment. The setbacks you survived were not signatures. They were signals that you are built for weight and worthy of wins. Carry yourself like the proof you're becoming. Walk into rooms with the quiet of someone who knows what they left behind and why. Speak with the calm of someone who understands that storms have schedules and faith has outcomes. You do not need to force what is aligned. You do not need to chase what recognizes your value. Stand where truth stands in you. Calm, clear, committed. And watch how the world rearranges to meet the person you finally decided to be. Promises are loud. Identity is unmistakable. Intention says, I will. Identity says, I am. One is a wish, the other is a verdict. When you step into verdict, level living yesterday loses its leverage. You stop rehearsing the speech and start carrying the standard. Standards don't ask for applause. They generate it. They don't chase rooms. They elevate them. And when your name stands on a standard, the world learns a new way to address you, not as the sum of old scenes, but as the author of the next chapter. Understand this clearly. Confidence is not noise. It's knowing what you accept and knowing the difference between delay and development. Knowing when silence is strength and when speaking is mercy. You won't fold to familiar pressure, you'll bend it into purpose. You won't fight every rumor, you'll outrun it with results. There is a dignity that arrives when you no longer negotiate your value with moments designed to make you doubt. That dignity is quiet, but it is not small. It is iron under velvet. Hear me. Direction is greater than drama. Consistency is rarer than talent. Integrity is heavier than charm. Many can announce a goal. Few can embody a name. Choose to be one of the few. Be the voice that remains steady when lesser echoes get loud. Be the calm that makes storms remember their limits. When you carry yourself like evidence, in progress, time respects you. Opportunities that once ignored you begin to recognize you, because certainty has a frequency that cannot be faked. So write it, firm and simple, inside your chest. I am not a headline from the past. I am the headline that corrects it. I am not a trial version of myself. I am the release that renders the old obsolete. I am not waiting for the perfect moment. I am the moment that makes conditions adjust. This is identity over intent. And this is the quiet revolt where you pick up your name, hold it high, and walk forward, calm, clear, committed. While the path reorders itself to match who you have finally decided to be. There comes a day when you stop decorating your cage and start measuring the strength of your standards. Not the standards you post. The standards you practice when your life moves at the speed of your non-negotiables. If your value is negotiable, your future will be too. If your peace is negotiable, your focus will scatter. If your word is negotiable, your doors will hesitate. Draw the perimeter. What you will not tolerate from your own habits, what you will not accept from smallness, dressed as comfort, what you will not repeat because it once felt familiar. The moment you fix your standards, your signal gets clean, and clean signals move mountains that noise only angers. Understand. Attention is a currency, and you cannot fund a great life with spare change. Spend it where your assignment grows, not where your old identity gets applause. Some invitations arrive gift, wrapped in nostalgia. Decline them. Some rooms applaud your doubt, because your doubt keeps you predictable. Outgrow them. You are not required to stay loyal to a version of you that refuses to evolve. Choose the rooms that require your excellence, not your explanation. Choose the pace that honors depth over display. Choose the silence that forges steel over the microphone that sells smoke. Your direction is expensive. Pay for it with discipline, not drama. Hear this and hold it. You don't need louder promises, you need sharper boundaries. Protect the morning where your mind decides the weather. Protect the evening where your character gets audited. Protect the hour where you remember why you started. You are not here to entertain every opinion or attend every argument. You are here to become undeniable. Let your consistency do the speaking. Let your outcomes do the convincing. Let your name mean reliable, long before it ever means remarkable. And as you stand inside these non-negotiables, calm, clear, committed, watch how the path stops questioning you and starts cooperating with you. Results don't argue, they arrive. Talk has a ceiling, evidence has a sky. When you finally choose to live by the evidence principle, you stop renting space in rooms where opinions are the currency and start building a life where outcomes do the talking. Announcements fade, patterns speak. A single loud day is decoration. 100 quiet days is let your habits testify. Let your schedule become your statement. Let your delivery become your definition. When you move like this, doubt gets tired. Because doubt can debate words, but it cannot debate proof. Understand, consistency is not glamorous. It is granite. It is the refusal to be emotionally escorted out of your assignment just because the weather changed. The world respects what you repeat, not the speech you rehearse, the standard you re-up when no one claps. You don't need to match anyone's pace. You need to match your purpose with precision. Trim the noise, tighten the loop. Keep the promise you made to your future when you were clear, not the detour you considered when you were tired. Greatness is not a sprint of fireworks. It is a march of faithfulness. Hear this and hold it. When you honor small tasks with big character, big doors start recognizing your name. Not because you chased them, but because you became the person they were built for. Stay steady when rumors rise. Stay respectful when pressure speaks. Stay focused when shortcuts wave. There is a calm that outlasts storms and a dignity that outgrows doubt. Wear both. And as your days stack, your story will correct itself quietly, accurately, undeniably. You won't need to say, "Watch me." Time will say it for you. Authority isn't a volume setting, it's a voltage. People feel it before they hear it. When you carry yourself with alignment, you don't have to chase rooms. Rooms recalibrate. Attention is cheap, respect is the currency. Earn it with steadiness, not spectacle. Let others sprint for applause while you walk with assignment. The choice you made now, clean, exact, casts its light both backward and forward, and the shadows that once tried to name you begin to lose their shape. Your word is not decoration. It is contract. Say less. Deliver precisely. Promise rare. There is a nobility in restraint that noise cannot imitate. You're not proving you are powerful by talking. You're proving it by holding. Hold your standard when it's inconvenient. Hold your pace when shortcuts wave. Hold your dignity when rumor knocks. Character under pressure is a language opportunities can read from across the street, and they will walk to you. Understand this and keep it close. Popularity is a breeze. Principle is a backbone. Choose backbone. Choose the path that keeps your name clean, your focus sharp, your steps accountable. You are not a guest in your future. You are the rightful resident of it. Walk like someone who belongs. Calm in the face of noise, clear in the face of doubt, committed in the face of delay. Wear your quiet crown where trends expire and truth endures. When you move like that, the past concedes, the present aligns, and the future, without argument, makes room. Clarity is beautiful until you pay for it. Every real decision sends an invoice. The price? Old habits that kept you comfortable, conversations that fed your doubt, rooms that clapped for your smallness. When you choose with precision, you will feel friction. Not because you're wrong, but because you no longer fit the costume. That's the growth is not a louder version of yesterday. It's a cleaner one. Some doors will close and call it rejection. Let them. Closed doors are sometimes security systems installed by your future. Understand this: alignment is not just what you chase, it's what you refuse. You refuse the apology that shrinks your light. You refuse the pace that dilutes your standard. You refuse the invitation that asks you to forget who you're becoming. There will be moments when silence feels like loneliness. It isn't. It's scaffolding. In that hush, your name strengthens. Your signal sharpens. Your path stops negotiating, and the world, so used to your hesitation, will test your resolve. Pass the test by standing still in truth, while the noise looks for an exit. Hear this and hold it close. The choice you make now still reaches backward and forward, rewriting the way your history speaks about you and how your horizon receives you. Pay the cost with dignity. Trade urgency for accuracy. Trade approval for assignment. Walk with the calm of someone who knows that storms are temporary, but standards are sovereign. Keep your head steady, your word intact, your pace honorable, and watch how the right people, the right paths, the right moments begin to recognize you. The world doesn't obey volume. It obeys frequency. Anyone can get loud for a moment, but only a few can keep a signal so steady that time itself begins to cooperate. Keep yours clean, keep it exact. When your present decision stays aligned day after day, yesterday recalculates and tomorrow reorganizes. People may argue with your announcement. They cannot argue with the pattern. A clear pattern is a quiet kind of power. No banners, no noise, just a steady current that makes closed doors reconsider their instructions. You will be tempted by shortcuts dressed as wisdom and applause disguised as guidance. Decline both. Choose substance over spectacle, craft over clout, principle over pressure. Let your name mean reliability before it means remarkable. Speak less, deliver more. Promise rarely, fulfill completely. You are not here to prove you are flawless. You are here to prove you are faithful to what is right, even when no audience is present. That faithfulness is a weight the future respects. It travels with you like a seal, quiet, dignified, unshakable. Hold this in your chest and walk with it. I am not racing strangers. I am refining my standard. I am not chasing moments. I am building momentum. My decisions today are witnesses. They stand behind me and stand ahead of me. The past concedes when the present is precise. The present aligns when the person is true. And the future, without drama, makes room for the life that matches my name. Calm, clear, committed. That is the signal. Keep it. And watch the path learn to obey. Mood is weather. Momentum is climate. Weather changes. Climate decides the harvest. If you let feelings set your forecast, Your future will keep rescheduling you. Choose mission over mood. The days that count most are rarely the days that feel easiest. They're the days you show up anyway. Calm, precise, unshaken. That's not pretending, that's priority. When priority leads, emotion learns its place. The person you are becoming is not powered by spikes of hype. They are powered by standards that don't blink. Keep your pace clean. Keep your word intact. Keep your promise to tomorrow louder than the whisper of, "Not today." Understand this. Mood is magnetic, but momentum is sovereign. Mood pulls you toward comfort. Momentum pulls you toward completion. Mood asks for applause. Momentum asks for accuracy. Mood can be negotiated by rumors, delays, and noise. Momentum cannot. And when your decision holds, day after day, the past stops testifying against you and starts testifying for you. Patterns become proof. Proof becomes reputation. Doors that once weren't hiring your name begin to call, not because you begged them, but because you became the candidate time respects. Hold this line in your chest. I will not forfeit a destiny to defend a feeling. I will not trade a standard for a spike of comfort. I will not let a temporary storm rename a permanent assignment. The choice I made in clarity outranks the mood I feel in passing. Let others chase intensity. You will cultivate integrity. Let others sprint for spectacle. You will build substance. Walk forward, calm, clear, committed, while the path adjusts to your consistency. When momentum outruns mood, the story corrects itself. The present stands at attention, and the future, without fanfare, moves closer. Hype burns quick, honor burns steady. The world will tempt you with shortcuts that sparkle and outcomes that skip process, but you are building something that survives weather. Choose the long game. It is quieter. It is slower. It is stronger. When you commit to duration over drama, your timeline learns your name the way stone learns the hands that carve it. Patiently, precisely, permanently. This is how a life stops wobbling, not by louder promises, but by longer faithfulness. Understand, time is not your enemy when you are aligned. Time is your amplifier. Small choices stack, clean signals compound. Doors that once required you to beg begin to open at the sight of your record. Let your legacy be accuracy over urgency, depth over display, truth over trend. You are not here to win a moment and lose your meaning. You are here to become the person whose presence makes opportunities want to stay. That takes days. That takes the kind of consistency that refuses to trade a future for a feeling. Hold this posture, calm, clear, committed. You will not be rushed by noise or stalled by doubt. You will not edit your standard to fit a room you've outgrown. You will let excellence age well in you until your name carries the weight your vision deserves. And as you walk like this, without spectacle, without panic, the past will soften, the present will align, and the future will move toward you with a respect that cannot be faked. That is the long game. That is how you become undeniable. Pressure is not the villain. It's the verifier. It asks a simple question. Are you who you said you are? Especially now. When the room gets cold and the noise gets loud, that's not a sign you're off course. It's the moment your character steps forward and introduces itself. You don't argue with storms. You don't plead with doubt. You outwork it, and you don't negotiate your standard because the audience changed. You hold it until the weather remembers who's in command understand. Reputation is rented by words but owned by patterns. One glittering announcement cannot purchase what a year of clean delivery can secure. Be the person whose appointments with excellence are never missed, whose silence has weight, whose presence calms a table that was shaking. People may not agree with your pace, but they will recognize your precision. They may not echo your conviction, but they will concede your consistency. That is how doors, once indifferent, begin to lean open when your name approaches. Hear this and keep it close. Pressure reveals counterfeits and confirms originals. Let it do its work. Let it strip away the need to be liked for being loud and replace it with the dignity of being trusted for being true. Stand where your standard stands. Calm, clear, committed. No theatrics, no panic, no bargain with smallness. When you move like that, yesterday loses its leverage. Today aligns with your assignment. And tomorrow, quietly, steadily, inevitably, makes room. Some opinions are echoes of the same small story you already outgrew. Choose your circle with courage. The people near your name will either sharpen your standard or soften it. Honor those who speak to your becoming, not your comfort. Respect those who demand your excellence, not your excuses. You don't need an audience. You need allies. The right ones won't beg you to dilute. They'll remind you who you are when the room forgets, and they'll stand back while your results speak. Understand, loyalty is noble, but loyalty to your assignment comes first. If a room requires you to shrink, it is too small. If a friendship demands your doubt to feel safe, it is too costly. If a platform rewards noise over integrity, it is too cheap. You are not obligated to stay where your peace is taxed and your purpose is fined. Carry dignity into every space, and if dignity is asked to wait outside, leave with it. Your direction is a trust. Protect it from counsel that confuses attention with value and speed with success. Hear this and hold it close. Alignment is contagious. Sit with people who keep their word when it's inconvenient, who honor truth when trend is louder, who build what lasts when shortcuts glitter. Their steadiness will steady you. Their clarity will clear you. Their presence will remind you that the choice you made now reaches backward to correct how your history introduces you, and forward to instruct how your future receives you. Stand with that kind of company, calm, clear, committed, and watch how the path, the doors, and the days begin to cooperate with the person you refuse to stop becoming. Power is not how loudly you say yes, it's how clearly you say no. A clean yes without a firm. No is a door without a lock. Anything can walk in and rearrange your peace. Decide what serves your assignment and what only feeds your impatience. When your values are precise, your calendar becomes honest. When your standards are certain, your choices stop apologizing. This is how you reclaim the driver's seat, not by arguing with every road, but by refusing the ones that don't lead where your name is going. Understand, every bargain with smallness arrives disguised as kindness, urgency, or familiarity. It says, just this once, and spends your future like loose change. Decline gently, stand respectfully, hold steadily. You are not required to explain a boundary that protects your direction. Let your no be dignified and your yes be deliberate. You will lose a few crowds and gain your clarity. That is the room's meant for you. Won't punish your standards. They'll recognize them. Carry this like steel under velvet. I am not for sale at the price of distraction. I will not trade a long-term name for a short-term nod. My yes is clean, my no is firm, and my path is straight. I move without noise, I choose without panic, and I stand without begging. Calm, clear, committed. And as I live like that, yesterday loosens, today aligns, and tomorrow, quietly, precisely, makes room. This is the line where stories change. Not with noise, not with spectacle, but with a clean decision that refuses to rehearse smallness. You've heard it in your own chest. What if the choice you make now reaches backward to revise your past, and forward to redirect your future? It does. When your standard stops blinking. Stand here, own your name, let yesterday release its claim. Let today align with your truth. Let tomorrow make room without argument. You are not waiting for a sign. You are becoming the signal. Calm, clear, committed. If this spoke to you, don't vanish. Decide publicly. Comment, I choose now. Share this with one person who needs a stronger spine than a louder speech. Subscribe and turn on notifications so this standard stays in your week. And when you're ready for the next step in your rise, watch the next video in this series, because momentum honors those who move. Your choice has been made. Your path has heard it. Now walk.